Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Smite News, where we discuss Smite things. Today, let's talk about Arachne, as we just got through seeing the rework of her on the Smite game channel. So let's go ahead and take a look at her abilities and passives and all that good stuff. Starting off with her passive, though, being a different change. So she is now really an auto-attack based god. Two of her abilities pump her auto attacks. Her passive causes the original Keen Size debuff, or not debuff, but attack, where it would take away from a percentage of their health, except slightly different. It gives her in-hand attacks power based on that, instead of doing a percentage of it. A little bit different, but similar design. Very cool, very interesting, and looking very forward to it. Other than that, we have her number one ability, which is going to be... It's her old poison, right? It's her poison mixed with her 2. So instead of leaping on someone's head and healing and silencing, she instead activates this ability, puts a dot on people for a single hit, and then heals over time with it. So it's very similar to a Loki aim strike mixed with a dot and a heal. So it's really cool, different but same, the assassin-y type thing that you would expect from an assassin. Her number 2 is very interesting. So her number 2 is she gets an attack speed buff, and she hits 3 times on a target, and they get cocooned. Okay. So it's kind of like her old ultimate, except she has to hit them, and she can't hit like 3 different targets. She has to hit one target 3 times. So you know, it's counterable. You can stop the stun. The stun is not guaranteed. Now, if you do miss the attack, and you don't hit anyone, or you whiff the attack, then it doesn't count against you, and you can do another hit to get the third one off. But it can be body blocked by a tank or another player to stop the stun from going off if done correctly. So that's kind of cool, kind of interesting. Definitely some thoughts about being able to split push with it, taking down towers and stuff, really quick using it, getting 3 good hits off. With the right amount of pin and whatnot, it could be very effective. Next, we have her third ability, which is like a web wall. So it's kind of like a Ymir wall, but it's kind of like her old like gloop thing where she throws it and it splats on the ground. So you put up a wall, and you can see it's there. It's a little translucent, so you know if you're like in a hurry, you may not see it, but that's kind of the point. I mean, if you think about spider webs, you don't see them or really notice them when you're in a hurry, and then all of a sudden there's one in your face and there's this giant nasty spider on it. So it's got kind of that feel to it. And so that's it. Whenever somebody runs into it, it trips it. Broodlings spawn and start... You are slowed when you hit it. The broodlings spawn. They do some damage to you. They compared it to Nuwa, clay soldiers. And it leaves a trail on the ground, kind of like the water carpet from Hebo. And Arachne can run on that and get movement speed increased to catch up to people. Supposedly, whenever they get the tweaking and everything done, if somebody uses a leap or a blink or something like that, the trail won't follow you, but currently it does. Which, I don't know, maybe it's kind of good like that. But anyway, numbers, of course, all need to be adjusted and stuff. But it's really a cool ability. Kind of an interesting take on the whole thing, and she could place 2 of these at any given time, and they're probably going to have around 1 minute to 2 minutes of duration, is what it seems like we're going to be getting. And then last we have her ultimate, which some people aren't happy about, some people are. Kind of a mixed bag of feelings. And her ultimate is she basically climbs up onto an invisible web that you never saw before she jumped up there, whatever. Who cares? Anyway, she can fly in the air. That's basically it. And she gets... I want to say she gets a movement speed increase, but I'm not totally sure. It just kind of seemed like she was moving faster. And she gets like a leap. So she goes up in the air. She's CC immune when she's going up. Once she's up there... it's kind of like Apollo and Freya So, like, when Apollo summons his chariot, you can still kill him before he hits it. But then it's like Freya, where you can't damage her while she's in the air. Although I think Ra should be able to. But anyway, who cares? So then she leaps onto a target, doing damage, and that's it. It just does damage. But the cool thing is that you can apply your 2 steroids before jumping down. I'm also assuming you're going to be able to cast things like Girdle of Inner Power. Yeah, that's gonna be crazy if you can. Just think about that. Or even protections, or, oh my god, Arachne support might be a real thing now, which is crazy. Think of the initiate. Anyway, so many cool possibilities coming to mind. But yeah, that's it. That's all her stuff. And some people are gonna miss the web pool. It's kind of a cheesy ability. You still have your broodlings, but you can't just lay them down. Stuff like that. So we'll see how she goes, but overall it does seem like she's really kind of cool. And I am looking very much forward to being able to get a hold of her and see the interesting ways that you can play her. Is she going to be viable as a support in the new, like, the heavy hammer support that we see going on? Or is she going to be able to be a solo laner so that she's not strictly stuck to one role? How is she going to be an assault? All that kind of stuff. So I'm really looking forward to it. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and as always, have a wonderful day.